Hello everyone, welcome. Whew, I'm out of breath. Ugh, everything hurts. Some choices tonight that I am going to regret in the morning, but I will be very happy about later in general. Let me get the fucking dashboard up. Oop. Go. How's everyone doing tonight? Hope everyone's doing alright. I am late tired. Ugh. So, I think I've mentioned before that things with my gym aren't great at the moment. About 2.5 weeks ago now, I came in to find that they moved the training area that I roll it back. I am a personal training client of the gym, and as part of being a training client, I should get access to the training area anytime that I want to work out. That's what it has always been. It's one of the reasons why me spending $220 total a month on a gym is okay with me, because I get the personal training that puts together a program for me that does my goals, and I also get access to an area that only training members get access to. But I came in last 2 weeks ago to find that they had moved that training area from the large space that it was in before to a much smaller space that felt kind of cramped, and I was very weirded out by it. So I texted my trainer. I'm like, what's going on? I didn't know anything about this. Kind of sucks. And she got back to me. She told me that, oh yeah, by the way, that changed. I'm sorry you didn't get notified. They should have sent out an email. They obviously didn't. I'm sorry. And that they are now no longer allowing training clients to use that area between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. So I ultimately can't use it at all, because I only go in after work. So that's kind of the background here. The last 2 weeks have actually been fine. I've been able to get in, do my workouts, and get out in a relatively short period of time. It hasn't been a problem until yesterday. Yesterday, I have essentially a 3-day program. It's really 2.5 day, 2 full-hour days and 1 half-hour day. And I went in to do my day 1 full-hour workout yesterday, and I was there for 47 minutes. Out of the 6 exercises that I had to do on that day, I only got 2 of them done. The rest of that time, the 25 minutes that's remaining, basically, I spent standing there waiting for literally anything I needed for the remaining 4 exercises to open up. And there was nothing. It wasn't even that busy in the gym either. The cardio machines, for instance, like only 5 of them were being used or something like that, and there's like tens of them, just way too many. So it's like I just got fed up and I left, because I was like, I can't do anything and I don't want to stay. Like, I'd already been there for 45 minutes and I was like, I don't want to stay any longer than this. I'm leaving. So I just left. Now today, I texted my trainer. I texted my trainer all about this last night to let her know. And then I texted her again today being like, so with how things happened yesterday, what should I do about the remaining exercises? Should I come in today? And so she asked me, well, how are you feeling? Are you sore at all? And I'm like, well, a little bit, but it's hard to tell where being sore from the bike ends and being sore from the gym begins. So not much. It's mostly in my legs. In my day 1 program, the majority of it is upper body, save for one of the things that I needed to do. So ultimately I made a decision to go in. I went in, I did the remaining 4 exercises. It wasn't that bad. And then I decided because my original plan was I would go in. I went in on Monday, I did those 2 exercises. I went in today, I was going to do the 4 exercises that I missed, and then I was going to continue doing my regular 1 hour day 2 tomorrow. But if any of you are local to the area, you know tomorrow is going to be lots of fucking rain and it's going to be gross, and I don't want to really be out in that. So I then thought to myself, well, why don't I go ahead and do my short 30-minute program and just attach it to whatever I'm doing right now? This was a brilliant idea in the moment. In practice, I was fucking tired already. And I was making it way worse. So I did another day of my program, and yeah, that took me a little longer than usual. Got home later than usual. By the time I finished showering and then made dinner, it was just too late. So that's what has been going on today. But it means that I'm not going to the gym tomorrow, so I get to come home much earlier than usual. Hopefully I can catch the bus before it becomes a mad dash for the buses, because that's the one thing I really hate about taking the bus right now. I mean, there's 2 things that I hate about taking the bus right now. One is how long they take compared to biking, and the other is the crowdedness of the buses. Like, the nice thing is that I can take one bus that's free. It's one that I'm technically not supposed to take, but no one cares, so I take it anyway. I can take that one to the starting point of the bus that takes me home, so I can get right on that bus, get a seat, and just sit there for the whole rest of the ride. So at least there's that. But anyway, Tuesday indeed. I'm very tired. I also want to point out, like, I had an absolutely insane, like yesterday was a pretty busy day. I'm trying to remember what I did. I'm on a committee at work for academic technologies. We're basically going to be, the goal of it is to sit down and like determine what competencies we want students to have as they leave the college. Like what digital technological competencies, there it is. My competency apparently needs to be in speaking English. What technological competencies we want them to have as they leave the college. And that's the first goal of this committee. We're going to take a couple months literally just to nail down what those are, and then we're going to figure out what's the best way to support them. What things do we need to buy? What kind of instruction do we need to have? Where is that instruction going to go in the curriculum? Because right now it can't go in the theory department. Theory is bursting to full with stuff like this. And I thought it was going to be really good and really productive, especially because it's being run by my boss's boss, the CIO, and she's like excellent at running this kind of stuff. And like immediately, all of the faculty started out by talking about what they wanted their pet project to be handled. Like, it was all very much like, this is what we want for our stuff. And it was like missing the forest for the trees a little bit, because we were talking about technology. And so and this is a music conservatory, by the way. So all of the faculty were then talking about music, using technology in music, so electronic music and electronic music production and different ways of supporting that. And we need more space for it. We need more equipment of this all high-end stuff. And we're like, no, not what we're talking about. We're not what we're talking about. We are literally talking about what do we need students to learn from freshman year all the way through senior year, all of the students. What do they need to learn so that when they leave, they're in a better place, no matter whether they're into electronic music or not, right? No matter what. Like, one of the things that we're really trying to focus on is like, and in some cases is trying to lead the faculty to come to this conclusion, at least this one in particular, is like, we want to adopt things like Adobe Premiere as software that students get exposed to in their assignments and get exposed to regularly so they know how to use it, so that when they leave, they then know an industry standard video editing application and they understand how to use it. They might not be able to make the prettiest looking videos, but at least they know how to use it and they know how to move it forward with it. That gives them a skill that they can then take going forward, no matter what they end up doing with it. They don't, and again, like, and we're running into issues then where people are then asking, well, is that an elitist thing to ask of them? Like, not everyone's going to have access to Adobe after they leave. And it's like, no, they're not, but it's going to give them the basics of how to use video editing software, of which Adobe Premiere is the industry standard, and everything else is kind of a dilution of that. You can figure out how to use it because you already know how to use the really heavy stuff. Like, in the same way, we want to get them used to audio production. Like, what kind of things do they need to do in audio production that goes beyond starting up your phone and using that? Like, same with video, like, go beyond using your phone. We want them to get used to using equipment kind of like that. So, right, like resume boosting things in some cases. I mean, it does kind of go beyond that to some degree, especially because they're music students. They really should know how to record themselves properly, and they really should understand when they're talking to a recording engineer what they're dealing with, at least on a basic level. Like, they should understand what happens when you blow out a mic, or how to, like, the basics of how to fix feedback. You know, how to use a PA system is like one of the ones that we did touch on in the meeting, and I was very glad we did, because, like, you know, maybe not necessarily for the classical musicians, though they should learn how to do it anyway, but especially jazz and more popular musicians, you know, more modern music that is being done. A lot of that requires amplification. You know, a lot of those jazz students are going to take on gigs that are like wedding gigs where they just play in the band, right? And you don't want your first gig to be fumbling with how the PA system works. But then also, we don't want to teach them necessarily on just like one little PA speaker. You want to know how to use that, sure, but teach them on the really big professional stuff so they know how to deal with that really complicated system. And then when they're dealing with a simpler one, they know how to use it going forward. So it's the bus factor, right? It's the bus factor. So anyway, that melted my brain yesterday. Because it was like, I literally finished the committee meeting and I put my head on my desk. So it's just like, I need to check out for a few minutes. Hold on. And then today I had a committee meeting, not a committee, a board meeting for the New England chapter of my professional organization. At 10:30, and then 11 I had therapy, so I was like, I only have half an hour to talk to you guys, and we started, and it was like brain draining for a different issue. Like, at that point, the issue is everyone is so conciliatory to everyone else that no one ends up making a decision, because we all just kind of like, oh, you want to go? Like, oh, you want to go? Like, everyone's kind of going around in a circle and saying their turn, and it's like, great, kumbaya, it's great, but like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, I was this close to being like, should we take a vote on it? And at least saying we should take a vote on it makes a decision. But we keep kind of deciding to decide in the future. We keep on deciding to continue discussing, I guess is the better way to put it. It's not like we're putting off a decision, but we do keep discussing the issues at length so much that it feels like we're putting it off. And then I went right into therapy, which was actually great. My therapist and I ended up talking about Murder, She Wrote for a really long period of time, which is hilarious to me, because that is not what I wanted to go in and talk to him about. We did talk about what I wanted to talk about, don't get me wrong, but like, it was also funny to me that I spent a really long time talking about what I liked and didn't like about seasons 1 and 2 of Murder, She Wrote, because he grew up with it. Like, he grew up watching it. He remembers watching it when it was on. And like, other friends of mine, when they've recommended Murder, She Wrote, they grew up watching reruns of it or watching it when it was on as well. Like, and then I'm over here being like, well, I'm literally on my first ever watching of it, and so I'm coming at it with no rose tinted glasses at all. Don't get me wrong, Angela Lansbury is wonderful, and I do love her, and the show is growing on me, but that season 1 was rough. And when I talk to people about it, like, they do not remember it that way. like there were two big things that I just do not like about season one. Well, three big things that I don't like about season one. That third one is more like a half, 2.5 things. So that half one is that for about half to 3/4 of the season, it's written in the same vein as Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes stories. And I think on the channel I've talked about why I hate Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and I love Agatha Christie, and I think they're night and day when it comes to how they approach mystery writing. Arthur Conan Doyle wrote things from the perspective of John Watson, who is an idiot and doesn't see anything. So, like, you know, you come upon the crime scene and John tells you what he sees and what he sees Sherlock noticing, and then the parlor scene comes around at the end. Sherlock pulls something out of his sleeve and you're like, where the hell did that come from? He's like, the window was open and therefore I knew it was the killer. Like, the killer did it this way. And John, because he's an idiot, didn't see it, and therefore, because you are reading his recounting of it, you, the reader, do not see it either. It literally ends up being that Sherlock Holmes pulls a solution out of his ass, and you just have to go along with it. Whereas with Agatha Christie, especially because a lot of her stuff is written either from the point of view of someone who's more intelligent than John Watson, not as intelligent as her sleuths, but still more observant and more intelligent than John Watson, and or like third person omniscient, right? Like just viewing fly on the wall kind of stuff. She will point out that the window was open. Like, her protagonist will notice that the window is open, or, you know, she'll write in that the window is open, but it'll just be a throwaway little thing and you won't notice it. Very Chekhov's gun kind of deal. But then you get to the end, the parlor scene, and Miss Marple, or, you know, Hercule Poirot says the window was open, ergo I figured that's how he did it this way. You flip back to those pages and you can see, oh yeah, the window was open. I was given all of the same information that Poirot or Miss Marple had, and I did not connect those dots like they did. Therefore, it is far more interesting and intelligent, to me at least. This is a personal preference, I recognize. It's more interesting to me as a reader to be given all of the information and then see how the dots were connected later on. And the first, like, half to 2/3, 3/4, whatever, of Murder, She Wrote season 1 is written very Conan Doyle-esque. And then it starts being a lot more Agatha Christie-esque. There's a lot more showing you everything that, you know, that Jessica sees. And then at the end, you know, in a lot of ways, actually, it's interesting because they're writing Jessica as not to be this incredibly smart super sleuth like Poirot or Miss Marple. She has her aha moment where she connects the dots. She doesn't have like a working theory that she then confirms. She has like a, I can't believe I was that stupid, I didn't see it before. And then she points it out to you, the watcher, the viewer, and you were like, oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Like, it gets better. So that's half issue because it's only part of the season. The other one is that this is like a tonal disconnect. A tonal disconnect, not total. A tonal disconnect between some of the more campy elements and some of the more murder elements. Like, they hadn't figured out that balance yet. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love camp. But like, it'd be like, you know, wife walks in, finds her husband murdered, starts crying and bawling, and then there's like a little cutesy musical stinger, and it cuts to Jessica doing a freeze frame gag moment. Like, she's bawling on the floor, and then Jessica's like, boo doo 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 doo. Like, it got ridiculous to a certain point where it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? There were other moments too that were just so, like, out of touch. It was bizarre too because this was being produced in Los Angeles, and I remember specifically this one episode that was about movies. It took place on a movie set, and like, I'm like, this is shot in Los Angeles. People working on this have worked in movies. Who thought movies look like this? Like, they were showing some of the things, and like, no, this is like a music video. Your strobe lights and the fuck, it's a weird fucking scene. And there was multiple other ones like that. But like I said, the tonal disconnect. Yeah, Cabot Cove's murder rate. I guess I'll throw in another half thing that continues to bother me. as it's never actually addressed, as far as I can tell. It is completely unclear how much money Jessica Fletcher has. It is completely unclear, and it is bothering me because she's in Cabot Cove. She's treated as just like one of the locals. She's got her nice little house or whatever. She still bakes pies and everything. She's the nice little old lady that solves mysteries and writes murder mysteries and stuff like that. Sure, fine. And then like this last episode even that I watched at the end of season 2 had her like rubbing elbows with New York's wealthiest people in their like Catskills retreat or whatever, right? Or Hudson Valley something. Like we're talking about like millionaires, and at this point they would be billionaires, but like she regularly associates with incredibly wealthy people doing things that only incredibly wealthy people can do, and is also portrayed as being like comfortable but no more, right? Like she takes the train everywhere. She doesn't have a hired driver. She doesn't drive. She can't drive herself, which I find is hilarious and like hashtag relatable. I wish I could do that. But she takes like taxi cabs. She's driven everywhere. She takes her bike everywhere. She takes a train. Like she always is doing something like that. But she obviously, based on what she does in the show, has enough money that she could literally have a car and a driver on call. She could do that. Like, it's never addressed, and it's really weird. Like, I just don't know how to handle. I don't know. Like, she doesn't want to. No, that's totally fine. It's totally fine. It's just like, again, like, this is it. It's one of those things where it's like Harry Potter, right? Because Harry Potter is supposed to be incredibly fucking rich. In the books and in the movies, even it's shown, like someone even figured out, like based on a conversion from wizard currency to, at the time, the British pound before it collapsed, how much Harry Potter was worth in net worth, and he's like multimillionaire, like hundreds of millions of dollars. And it becomes a problem then when his best friend Ron Weasley is shown like not being able to afford school supplies and having to do like hand-me-down clothes, right? And he has the power then to fix Ron's problem. He has the power to fix all of the Weasleys' problems. He could literally pay their entire way through Hogwarts, and it wouldn't affect his financial worth at all. But he doesn't. Because it's a convenient plot point at one point that he is incredibly rich and therefore can afford all of these nice things, but then he never uses that for anyone else, right? And it's the same kind of problem with Jessica Fletcher at this point. She is incredibly rich, but she is surrounded with a community that she's very close to that she doesn't really give back to that much. Like, as far as I can tell, she should be one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest resident of Cabot Cove. But there was an episode I watched not that long ago where she had only like invested $60,000 in a new medical center, and she was not one of the top donors. Like there were other people who invested hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I'm like, but Jessica, you've got like millions. You could easily pay for this whole thing yourself. And instead, you're allowing one of your best friends, Sheriff Amos... forgetting his last Tupper. Sheriff Amos Tupper put his entire retirement savings into this instead. Like, is a disconnect there, and it just makes me feel weird about it. But Jessica's still a wonderful character. I'm not going to say anything else than that. It's one of those things that's like an oversight by the writers. You can't read that too far into it, but it's one of those things that like, it's an oversight for a reason. I'm getting really close to starting quoting Marx at this point. Fun fact, this is not going to be a stream of video games. It's going to be a socialism stream. Here we go. Seize the means. Seizing the means on that point. I have my third big problem that I have with it. And it's only season 1. Season 2 fixed this problem. Even later in season 1, it got a little better. But the first season had so many same face people. Like there were 3 or 4 white guys that were all between like 20 and 30 years old they all had the same fucking haircut, and they were like John, Matt, Andy, and Jim or whatever, and you're like, I have to fucking remember who these people are because it's important to the plot. And they're not like through line characters because the show is very much set up in a way that like it is episodic. Like one episode is completely contained in itself. There's not really much of a like plot line over the course of the season. The most you'll get is like I'm in the middle of because today at lunch I watched episode 1 of a 2-part episode. Like I watched the first half and then I'll watch the second half, and that's the most you get. So oh yeah, well that's the thing. Grady was the first one that I noticed. He was like the blueprint that all of the other young men in the fucking show looked like. Luckily, I now can recognize Grady because he is a recurring character who has somehow a terribly sad life, but a really fucking nice apartment. Again, disconnect, but that one also might just be money, like money to era, like 1980s. Yeah, even if you were kind of not able to afford particularly nice things, like you weren't the poor, but you were like lower middle class, you could still afford your own apartment in New York City. Okay. Not these days. Yeah, I know. Jessica goes, she just owns his apartment at this point, let's be honest. So, but yeah, that was the problem that I had. It was like every one of them looks the same, and it's like they're just characters in this one episode, and there's 3 or 4 of them. They all have the same haircut. The only way that I can tell them apart is which one's the brunette, which one's the black hair, which was the blonde hair. Like, oh god, it was so frustrating. That's my problem with the show. End of story. The rest of it, I'm really enjoying. It's a fun thing. It's like the perfect length for me to put on when I'm at lunch break or something, so that I can start and finish an episode while I'm at lunch and not spill too far into the other way. So it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I did also this last weekend watch pretty much the entire of House of Dragon. I watched the first 2 episodes before last weekend, so I had already watched those, but I watched the remaining 8. It's a really good show. It is a show about terrible people doing terrible things to each other. So ultimately, like, there isn't someone to root for, I guess. Like, there's no good person in this, so I can't like get behind a character or get behind one of the teams, because it's pretty clear at the end of season 1 that there are like 2 teams of characters. I won't go into any more than that because it is spoiler at that point, but it is also spoiler stuff that is very easy and free to read on Song of Ice and Fire Wiki, which is how I knew the whole plot basically ahead of time. So the vampire episode of Murder, She Wrote. Yeah, no, I will get there. Don't worry. It will happen. I am prepared. I am on season 3 right now, and I've only been watching this for a couple of weeks. So I am going through it at a pretty hefty clip. The thing is, and this is something that I kind of miss, it's not something you see with a lot of shows these days. I miss seasons that are like 30 episodes long or whatever, right? Because that's basically what's happening here. Like they're really long seasons. I don't know. I do miss those. I wish they would come back. It's one of the reasons why I actually had trouble with X-Files, is because I was like, oh yeah, there's only 13 seasons. Well, if they're all like, 12 episodes or whatever, then I'll be able to get through it in no time. But no, they're all like 25 episodes. Come on. I'm having trouble with my controller. Hold on. It wouldn't be a stream of mine without some kind of technical difficulty, right? There we go. It's minor, so at least there's that. Anyway, it is now 40 minutes into the stream. I should probably start playing the damn game. I mean, that's something that I'm interested in. I'll be interested, especially there have been a couple of kind of retrospects on Angela Lansbury, her life and work after the fact, and I know that Murder, She Wrote's a big part of it. Another thing too is I wanted to at least get exposed to Murder, She Wrote before I watched the next Knives Out movie, which has Angela Lansbury in it because of her time at Murder, She Wrote. Ooh, gin. Mm-hmm. Say now there's a floater of water because I talked so long that the ice melted some. There we go. Gotta drink down to the fizzy parts again. Okay, let's play some games. Okay. I cannot express to you just how badly I have wanted to play this since Thursday. Like, I have been struggling to keep myself from playing this without you all. Because I think I really like this game. I will make fun of it like no one's business. I like how the table got set again after we are done. I will make fun of it like it's nobody's business, but
dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing.
At the same time, like, I am fascinated by this game.
Circe. The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
I don't have a key yet. Let's wait. Devil's Thorn. Which one does that? Shit, I don't remember which one it is. Fuck. So Vampire, I have actually played the majority of Vampire. It looks cooler than it is I guess what I will say. All right, I was hoping they were gonna have it. No. Like, I don't know. I did not enjoy playing Vampire as much as I wanted to, especially because I like Don't Nod. And that was like their first game that was not another retread of fine, I'll do it. I'll probably have stuff in it that'll let me replenish it anyway.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
See, yeah, I'll just boop.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. I have no space left. I'll retrieve.
Really? There's more? Okay, well, I'm full up, so there's no reason to go get any more. Vampire is one of those things that's got like a really interesting concept. The combat leaves a lot to be desired, though. Like, I cannot state how frustrated I was with the combat enough.
A swine in a salon. That's an odd choice of decor. This painting has caused some debate. Who did Dosi paint? Alcina the fairy or Circe the magician?
Just keeping an eye on my stream over here because it looks like it's kind of choppy. Not sure why that is.
Painted Lady Hamilton as Circe. Circe preparing wine. What better trap for Ulysses?
I wonder actually, hold on. Give me a second. Let me try. I'm gonna try switching this to full screen instead of windowed full screen. That might like this better. Let's see. So the thing about the combat that I really couldn't stand,
Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
he just said Descartes the right way. That means he can do French. Why can't he do a French fucking accent? Anyway. So what was I just gonna say? Vampire, right. Vampire,
Circe preparing wine.
the combat
Ulysses.
doesn't like the enemies you fight override whatever you were doing. You can be in the middle
By Gours.
you can be in the middle of a
Into swines.
like swinging action as part of your attack, and you will get hit and interrupted by any of the enemies that are going after you, no matter how powerful they are. Like, if both of them hit,
His companions back into humans.
it would be better, but I don't know. It was really frustrating to play.
If I were you, Ulysses, I wouldn't drink the wine.
Okay, so we're not really finding anything in this room, but the Cardinal is still here, so I guess we'll go talk to him and see if he has anything to say. Well, actually, wait, there's this tiny little hallway back this way, but there might be something in here. Oh, another one?
Amber crystals.
Amber crystal. Why is he like this? Oop. Key with an occult earth symbol. Curious. Hello, Cardinal.
Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, the sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together.
This is a really good gin.
I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr.
I think I need to get a more boring gin, though. Something cheaper.
Yes. I noticed that your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
To tell you the truth, not really.
You are right. Be positive. Perhaps Sarah is in the company of Lord Mortimer, and they will both turn up shortly.
But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
As I haven't visited all the manor yet, I wondered if you hadn't seen a Medusa by any chance.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, la Gorgogne, the Medusa from Greek mythology. Would you have seen one in any shape or form?
Not at all, my son. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be of any use to you.
Thank you anyway,
Well,
Your Eminence. I
okay.
won't take up any more of your time. On that last word, then I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
See you later. The classic 18th century goodbye. See you later. Okay. Mother. What the fuck? Ooh. Okay, this is cool. I mean, is it ridiculous? Absolutely. This is the worst way to set up a library. Like, also notice that there are no stairs. You just have to take... They're not even ladders between the floors. Like, there's no way to get to the next floor. You literally can't get up there. It's very visually impressive, but everything beyond this floor is pointless. Oh, and it goes all the way fucking down there? This guy is nuts. What is this system? What is this system? Double letters? What the fuck? Double letters starting with A and going down while going up. I don't like this.
Actress, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Well, you know, another royal jelly. Let me just pick that up. Hold on.
pages out of an old encyclopedia.
Hey, we found more pieces of the encyclopedia. How are we doing with that, by the way? Did I find the rest of that? Yeah! Ooh, that's definitely happening next. One in science, linguistics, and erudition. Fuck yeah, definitely using that. Where's the map, by the way? Okay, I just want to know where I'm going. We're exploring new parts of the manor. Oh, the Last Supper. It's just on his wall. I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised at this point.
Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of.
Well, good thing we are wandering.
Find the creature now?
How about instead you let me wander around here and focus on all the other shit?
Allegory regarding the declaration of the rights of men. That's the least you could say. Liberty or death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. Ah, painting by Ingres. Molière dining with Louis XIV. The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly.
Like, he speaks French well enough. Why can't he do a French accent? I'm so disturbed by this voice actor. I will roast the ever-living shit out of this. I hope you all know. Why do they have these spots here? They're like, don't you want to sit and look at the pretty sculpture? No. Not particularly. Don't get me wrong, this is gorgeous. They did a great job putting this all together. And this is a really good, like...
The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
Okay,
The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
So when he speaks any of the French names, he suddenly has a French accent, but he speaks another European's names, and he doesn't. He didn't say Leonardo da Vinci. But then back when he talked to the cardinal, he threw out, you know, La Gagorne, right? I don't know if I'm remembering that right. I don't know Italian very well. So, like, pick one! I'm also trying to figure out why we have the cards explaining what they are on the painting themselves.
Christ crucified by Velasquez.
And they're also wrong because...
Someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alquidia.
Oh, Manuel Godoy. Never mind. Yep. Never mind. That has nothing to do with an artist. That's one of the characters in the game. Ha ha ha! I know things. Can't go outside to the terrace. Or the gardens, or whatever they're called.
A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe II, a Byzant from the Byzantine Empire, a coin often used during the St. Louis era. The Company by Rembrandt, a fragment of amber.
I can't. A fragment of amber. He says it so sensually. It's so disturbing. Fuck.
The Fall of Phaeton, another painting by Rubens.
Like,
Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning for borrowing his father's.
what is he doing with the amber
Don't stay
after he finds it? Like, is he gathering at his room and jacking off on it? Like, is that what... It sounds so fucking dumb! Why? I'm sorry, I don't know what this is. It happened last week and somehow it's funnier this time. Oh my god. Fuck, okay. A fragment of amber. Like,
François Ier, receiving the Holy Field.
like, keep it in your fucking pants, dude. Nobody wants to know this.
Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
Yeah, alright. I don't know how we got on that subject, but okay. Alright, Sure, Jan. Just seriously, what is this guy's fucking issue? And the fucking amber? I don't... Like, I know it's a collectible that gives you things in the game. I understand the purpose of the amber. It's just, they had to give... Like, who was directing the voice actor in this? Like, you need to sound like you want it, but like, somehow managed to avoid saying, like, you need to sound like you want it as like you're coveting it and it's like a desirable object, not that you want to have sex with it, because that's what it sounds like.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
You can't pick it up, darling. I hope these persist. Also, I found the Gorgon's head. It's right there, but I don't want to touch it yet. I want to go around and touch everything else first. We're probably going to check out the other, half of the manor that I haven't checked out yet. See if there's other people we can talk to. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to like move on. It's right there. I want to move on until I've done everything that can be done. As far as I'm aware, oh, well, I guess I'm not going anywhere further. Let's see if we can backtrack a little. People who have Teslas that are Ubers weird me out a little. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't help but look at their... Ooh, I actually managed to hit a loading screen. Wow. I can't help but look at an Uber driver driving a Tesla as like, you're using Uber to pay off your car, right? Like, you wanted a Tesla so bad that you paid more for it, and now you have to actually finish paying for it. Like, I don't know. I'm also fully anti-Tesla at this point. Like, there was a while that if you had, like, told me...
Emphasizing me up here is that monumental Zeus.
Okay.
It can't be here.
Shut up, man. I'm talking here, god damn it. I would have wanted a Tesla if you had told me, like, you could have any car you want for a daily driver. Like, what do you want? Tesla would probably be what I would have picked, because I'm like, well, it's like a very good selling electric car, and it's better than driving a combustion engine for the environment and everything. But yeah, no, at this point,
Pattern with 5 circles on this chest.
I don't want anything that Elon touches. I don't trust it.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
I can't remember what the golden elixir does. Here's negative alterations. That's it. Okay. I'm almost full on all of my shit here. That's the thing, yeah, the idea was definitely solid, but at this point, like, there are enough other electric cars on the market by more reputable manufacturers that while they don't have the same market share that Tesla has, and they don't have the same range that Tesla has, or performance even, I will say. But performance is not something that I necessarily looking for a car. Range would be one that I would look at that point. I would probably go with a bigger car manufacturer that also makes electric cars than a Tesla. Like, I've not heard horror stories. I won't say that. I mean, you hear horror stories about any car when it launches, right? But I have heard a lot about the issues of quality control at Tesla and how cars are coming out of that factory that would not be coming off the line in most other car manufacturers, just because they're not up to snuff. So there's no one else around, so I guess we will advance the plot forward. Why not? This is a very sad looking Medusa.
I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her.
What did it say?
hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern,
Haha, penis.
and the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand.
Okay. Solution to the Medusa Enigma. Do they all go to face the Medusa? Huh. I am officially not sure how... What? Where's the note? Isn't there a note? Mother's handkerchief, Emily's handkerchief, Mortimer's invitation, a letter I found on the pier, Piachi's letter. Beast always charges the most protective one. Is that what this is? The beast always charges the most protected one. So she should face...
The clue I found said, "Beware hero. The beast always charges the best protected. That is its weakness." That's the key. The best protected hero is the one holding the shield.
Yes.
Thank you, Mother.
So... for the shield. And he's already looking at her. Then do I just have this guy rotate to stab her kind of a deal? Alright, and then what do I do with the lantern guy? Because this one doesn't make sense to me. Oh.
If I respect the legend, I have to place the hero holding the shield in front of the Medusa. Except for here, it doesn't work. There must be something else.
Okay. I can consider the value of the lantern.
When I see
Doesn't
the lantern
cost me
and the
anything.
shield, I can't help thinking back to my childhood. Mr. Dorfer, our teacher. As soon as the sun came out, I got a kick out of distracting him with the inkwell by deflecting the light with it. I'd turn it in such a way as to direct a spot of light onto his face, not strong enough to dazzle him, but just enough to annoy him. Hey, what if I tried to annoy the Medusa with the lamp on the shield? Position it just right, and it might work.
Okay. Is already there. Okay. In which case, are you telling me that this guy needs to rotate toward the hero holding the sword? Aha! Something's going to... Ooh, okay. Secret door! Of course, there's another perfect copy on the other side.
Rah!
Whoa, shit.
Pete's sake, Emily! You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Honey, you just...
Turning around and tell me what you're doing here.
Oh, yeah? So tell me what you're doing here. Yeah, just like me.
Probably, but I asked the question first.
Well then, we'll pretend you haven't asked me yet.
What about a little gallantry, Louis? Come on, I'm listening. What are you doing here?
Nah.
Since you insist, Duchess, gallantry obliges this. Ladies first.
You just won't give in, will you?
I'm
Nope.
sorry, madam. It isn't in my nature.
Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh yeah, in your dreams.
What are we looking for?
Service, madam.
And why? Search the room. Why are we searching the room?
Ancient Greek, translated. It reads, the all-gifted. Could this jar be the original Pandora's box? Emily, I've found Pandora's box. It's not as impressive as I thought it would be, but that's how these things usually go.
I detest that legend. Once again, women are made responsible for all of the world's evils. And stop playing with that pot, you'll break it. Come on, let's move on.
Don't open the jar. Let's not. I know enough about this one to not fuck with that. Is this the golden fleece?
A golden fleece.
Yep.
It's freezing, hurry up.
Do you think that can really be Jason's golden fleece?
No, you are aware that Jason and the Argonauts is a myth, aren't you?
But Mortimer's been protecting this hide. It must be of great value, don't you think?
Certainly of historical value. This kind of hide is still used by gold diggers in Eastern Europe. Now you see how easy it is to obtain a legend.
Why do you have to act so nonchalant every time I show you something?
Because you're showing her nothing useful.
Rip off its hide and say it's the golden fleece.
We're at Lord Mortimer's, not at some farmyard fair. You're just too skeptical.
And you have a tendency to believe anything. Talk about an unlikely pair.
Yet, you know opposites attract, don't you?
Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
I bet you've read them cover to cover.
Naturally.
Really? I'm curious. Tell me, what part stood out the most to you?
The passage where Mary says to Joseph, "Hey, you, shut up."
In other words, you haven't even opened one.
All right.
A ruble. Hey, Mortimer's the author of this work. It talks about his passion for art.
Bookworm. You can equip 1 extra manuscript. Ooh, can I do that now? Is that possible? No? Shit. Oh. Nice thought. Something was on that plinth.
Guess
Again,
what I found?
what are we looking for?
Holy Grail.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath. The workmanship on this crown is amazing. The
Ooh.
finesse of the gold laurel leaves is beautiful. A crown worthy of an emperor. I'd stake my life that it's the genuine article. I can just see Mortimer dressed in a toga, wearing a laurel wreath.
I am sucking down this drink a little fast.
All day long.
You have a curious idea of Mortimer.
Why? He's eccentric, like all the English are, isn't he?
Well, if Peru stands for French grace, then if I were you, I wouldn't be making that sort of remark.
Excalibur.
You should see this sword, Emily. It's magnificent.
I'm busy. Describe it to me.
It's not Genghis Khan. Hard to say what it is, though. I'm not.
It really does look like Joan of Arc's sword.
The famous Maid of Orleans. One of your favorite historical heroines?
You bet. Given the number of English butts she kicked.
And we all know where that got her. When you finished playing, maybe you can help me search the place?
What are we searching for? If I knew what we were looking for, maybe I could focus a little bit, but instead I'm just kind of wandering around. Ah, fragment of amber.
Here's something interesting. A manor in Maine, hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia, properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old, and all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention. How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
See those fine scratches around the words?
Yes, and?
The ink barely spreads on the paper. It spreads exactly the same way on the signature. The deed was written using the same ink. If it is a fake, then it's a professional job. Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation.
Wow, that assumption went straight to Dread Pirate Roberts. Yeah, literally what I went for.
And yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
And how do you know my mother was interested in this room?
I didn't know, I just supposed she was. And you just confirmed it. So, do you think she found what she came for?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess these property deeds are troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? Why keep such a collection hidden in a secret room? Any thoughts?
Mortimer has every reason in the world to conceal it, even if only to keep it from people like us.
Hey, Emily, we're not thieves. We're only looking. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something.
Okay, we're searching the rest.
What is that you found?
Oh,
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged for that jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar. Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in
oh
you?
fuck, okay. Shit, I can't remember what her things are. Journal. Immunity is logic, vulnerability is psychology. So our vulnerability is psychology, which looks like which one? Alright. The little brain. Which one's logic? Alright. I can't do logic anyway.
When are you going to understand that I just want to help you?
What do you expect? That I'll fall into your arms and say yes to everything you want?
What are you talking about? I'm only asking you to trust me a little. If only on principle, as a member of the Golden Order, for example.
I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese, but I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily! I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone, you have your strengths and your weaknesses, and there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
Pragmatic, intelligent, sure of herself. Her only weak spot is her difficulty talking about herself. I don't know much about your past, but I'm guessing you had to get by on your own for much of your life. It might have closed you off, and that can be a disadvantage. It might be time for you to open up and risk a little trust. Not every man you meet wants to hurt you.
Yes, you may be right. I might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
What are the two that just showed up? One of them is conviction, and the other one is logic, I think. No. A little gear thing. Questioning.
I don't see us as partners for life. You won't owe me anything, you know. It doesn't commit you to anything after all.
All right, you've gone to a lot of trouble. You deserve an answer. I already have a work partner. I know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me, but I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well, since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is your sister. She's your partner. She's the one you're looking for.
Okay.
Wow, I'm impressed. How the devil did you guess I had a sister? Virtually no one even knows. When it comes to getting results, you are...
Talent unlocked intuitive. What does that do for me? Oh, okay. 2 skill points in questioning.
Good, I grant you that. You deserve to know why the sight of the cameo...
Emma Hillsborough. Hold on. We gotta take a moment. I haven't looked at all these yet. Emma Hillsborough is the twin sister of Emily Hillsborough. Okay. Living in the shadow of her sister, Emma shares the same identity with her in the eyes of the world. Two sisters link their destiny in the most intimate way possible. Workplace, boyfriends, lovers. The two sisters shared everything together. Double identity was much appreciated by Charlotte de Mecklenburg-Strelitz, the present Queen of England, when she asked the two sisters to serve the crown. But with time, Emma had increasingly greater difficulty with the role as a double. It is thus tired of her role that Emma travels to Mortimer Manor as a diplomatic representative of England. So is Emily here? Or are we talking to Emma? Like, who are we talking to here? Also, hold on. Elizabeth II, George, Edward the VIII, George the Fifth. Oop, shoot. Edward the Seventh, Victoria, William the Fourth. Before him, George the Fourth. Before him, George the Third. That's what I thought. And his spouse... Oh, no, I'm wrong. Queen Charlotte. My mistake. I thought we were in a different era for a hot minute. I don't know my kings and queens of England that well. Interesting. Okay, so we still don't have anything about that. We know about all this. Giuseppe Piaget, Jacques Peru, Sarah Duché, William Mortimer, Elizabeth Adams, Manuel Godoy. Nothing. Von Wollner, Prussian Minister of Religion, friend of King Frederick William II of Prussia. Von Wollner secretly managed the affairs of state, former pastor and member of the Masonic Lodge, had all the time he needed to convert his king to his point of view. Together they opened their own lodge under the influence of the Rosicrucians. There we go. Passionate about the occult sciences and alchemy, he led a war of religion in his country and fiercely combated the ideas of the Enlightenment. Interesting. Friend of Sir Gregory Home von Wollner, believes in spiritual alchemy, of which the materia prima is the human soul. And that's everybody so far.
Me so strongly. I thought it belonged to
Oop.
Emma.
Another trait. Confidant. Cool.
My twin sister.
Oh. Now I get why you said you had a memory for two.
Yes. You can't imagine to what extent, though. As children, everyone got us mixed up. So one day we decided to play along. Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Clever. But isn't it complicated? How do you make it work?
One of us has no existence in the outside world. We share everything. First for one, then for the other. We dress the same, wear the same makeup, we speak the same. We've learned to act as one. When we accept a mission, we both turn up. This time, though, she went ahead, and I was meant to wait for her on the mainland. She was meant to meet Sir Home and bring back the details so we could work out who would follow up.
And there was a problem?
She was supposed to return from Mortimer's 1 week ago. The boat turned up at Plymouth, but alas, no trace of my sister. Instead, a sailor passed me a message from home, notifying me of her sudden disappearance.
So, my mother and your sister go missing just a few days apart. That's strange. Maybe there's...
This depth of field is not
It's clearly a
working well.
but up to now, I haven't found a trace of either of them.
None of this is very reassuring.
By the way, Louis, now that you are in on the secret, you are obliged to keep it to yourself, or you will pay very dearly.
Don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
It's time to leave.
She announces. Interesting.
So, what do you think of our first adventure?
Another trait. Investigation. I can equip 1 extra manuscript. So that means I can equip 2, right?
It has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Ooh, she looks...
Been drinking too much again?
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
Oh my. What?
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis,
Are we really?
talk now. Otherwise it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do?
Okay. We're gonna start another poll because I'm torn on this one. Part of me wants to see the embarrassment of whatever sex scene they have in mind, but another part of me is intrigued by Elizabeth Adams and her ridiculous amount of tattoos for a woman in the 18th century. See if I can remember how to do a poll here. Here we go. New poll. Oh man. All right. We got 1 minute. Here we go. Boop. One minute to tell me what we should do next. I'm not sure because I am truly torn. So tell me what we do next. I mean, I'm pretty much just assuming at this point that I'm going to replay this whole thing on my own at some point to get all the other ones, so I'm not going to feel upset if I don't do this path, you know, or whatever path we end up going with. I'm not going to be upset not doing the other one because I'll probably do it again later. I'm curious how much it affects the ending and stuff like that. I'll be able to read up on more of that later after we're done, but all right, well, that's unfortunate. So we got one for Elizabeth. I don't know if we'll see how the rest of it goes. And poll should be over. Boop. What do we got? Anything actually voted on here? 0. All right. In which case, we're gonna go with what you said, Ragnarok. Huh. I hope that actually did something. I wonder if maybe it just didn't come up at all.
Sorry, Emily, but I can't leave Elizabeth like this. All right, Elizabeth. How can I help?
Oh, you did see the poll. Okay.
Follow me. I really need to talk to you, Louis, right now.
Does Lord Mortimer know the mess you've made of your room?
Listen to me, damn it! My days are numbered.
Elizabeth, I don't know if it's about my mother again, but I'm telling you, you've nothing to be afraid of. She didn't come here for you.
I saw her.
Saw who? You saw my mother? When?
Just last night. I went out to walk along the cliff top and I saw her in the distance. She tried to hide right away, but I'm sure it was her.
Are you saying you recognized my mother in the middle of the night? While she was hiding?
Yes, Louis, I know it was her.
You just said she was far away, right? In the middle of the night. And the exterior of the island isn't exactly well lit.
Listen, I'm telling you it was her.
She doesn't hesitate on her answers. She's not trembling. She's really convinced of what she's seen.
Nailed it.
Did you talk to each other?
No, she was far away. I didn't make any noise, and then she was gone.
Have you told anyone you've seen her? Sir Holm? Mortimer?
You don't understand. It's her. She's here.
Yes, I understand.
No, you're not listening. The moment I saw her, I was overcome by spasms. She's here. I'm telling you, it was her. I need something to calm me down.
I'll drink with you, but let's go easy on it, okay?
This is a very weird scene.
I don't know where she gets her rot gut from, but frankly, it's disgusting.
You know, Louis, when I came here, it was in the hope of getting help. I've only just now realized that I've been drawn here into a trap.
Whoa. The alcohol's gone to my head.
I should have known it was drugged. Oh. It's gonna be like a Colonel Shepard or thing. Commander Shepard thing.
Elizabeth, alcohol never solves anything. I'm gonna stop now.
Listen up. You want to know what your mother was capable of, right? You want to know the reason why. Well, you're gonna have to follow me to the bottom of the abyss, Louis. Either drink
What's this? What the fuck is this moment? Okay, okay, I guess.
Man, I need to take it easy with the booze. At this rate, I won't last the night.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go easy on the drinking, okay? Alcohol won't solve our problems.
He says as he picks up a fucking glass.
The second one isn't any easier.
So, do you want to know why she did all those things to me or not? Even if it changes the image you have of her forever?
What was she trying to cure you of then?
Of the one illness she never managed to treat me for.
All right, in for a penny.
Come on, Elizabeth. We have to finish what we started.
She hasn't told you anything, you dumbass. And there it is.
Dizzy. There must have been a reason. Just tell me. Tell me what my mother treated you for.
She wanted to silence them!
What? What are you talking about? Silence what?
The voices. The voices in my head. They speak to me, Louis. They've always told me what to do. They say nasty things to me.
Elizabeth, are you saying that That spirits talk to you?
You're right. Sometimes there are several voices. How did you know?
No, listen, I don't know anything. I'm just repeating what you said.
They want me. Want me just for themselves. They talk to me all the time. Yet your mother did everything to make them go away. Ever since I was little. And look at the result.
It's impossible, Mother. You spent your life trying to prove that the supernatural doesn't exist. Why punish this poor girl? Oh, shit. What has she done to you?
Uh-oh, Louis. Are you starting to believe me?
No, but she...
Too bad it's all been for nothing. They're still there, you know.
What do you mean? They're still talking to you?
All the time. Despite everything Sarah put me through, I still hear them. And here I am on a lost island, knowing that no one knows me. And I find myself here at the exact same time as her. You see? You understand? You sense it too. I'm going to die here. I beg you, tell me you believe me.
I'm here.
I understand
I'm right here.
fucking nothing.
And I do believe you.
Thank you, Louis. You know, despite what people might think, I'm not crazy.
No, I just think you're poorly written. There's the difference. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You fucking idiot.
My God, Elizabeth, how is this possible?
Welcome to my world, Lil Louis. Welcome to my life.
Alright, we have another... Let's do another poll. How about that? This one, it's not so much because I can't decide, and more because part of me doesn't care. So... Oop. All right, there's another poll. Let's go. Do the thing. Like, this scene made no sense. At all. I wish it did make some sense so that I could feel like I was making whatever decision comes from this. I mean, I don't think I can reload is the issue, I don't think. Or maybe I have to go back to a different part of the chapter. I don't know how reloading works in this game, is the problem. Well, let's see if anyone voted. No one did, so we're back to square one. Let's flip a coin. How about that? Heads will be escape. Tails will be stay. Luckily Google does this. Boop. Tails, she's staying.
Let's not rush into things. You have nothing to fear here. I'm with you. And anyway, my mother's gone missing. You're not in any danger.
That's not what the voices say.
Listen to me. Don't give up. You must resist. And tomorrow, you'll see. Things will be better.
You like my little concoction, don't you? That's rare.
What?
It no longer has any effect on me. But my guests generally don't appreciate me mixing alcohol with laudanum.
Drugs.
What? You put laudanum in my drink?
In both. Don't worry, my little Louis. We'll sink down to the bottom together.
Oh man, I feel like puking. I really feel like shit. I gotta get back.
Don't worry, Louis. I'm here now. I'll take good care of you.
What is this bitch gonna do to me? Don't touch me! Just li... If I get up, I'll fall.
Oh, little Louie's tired. Leave everything to me. Just let go.
Mademoiselle, may I come in?
Well, I got the inebriated trait, which lets me get 1 point in psychology. Okay.
My head. I shouldn't have drunk so much. Oh, shit.
Holy fuck. Okay. What the actual fuck?
Elizabeth!
Failed. I had a few drinks with Elizabeth. Yeah, I wasn't going to in this whole playthrough. I wasn't gonna let myself, but like at this point I think I'm pretty set on reloading that one, because it just seems kind of dumb. Like, I don't know why I'm bothering. That's the end of episode 1. I know it's running the credits right now, but we're gonna go ahead and just do Gorgon again. Just reload that. Speed run. Easy peasy. Actually, you know what? Even this might be not... No, just start the quest. Hold on. Back to menu. I wanted to go back and do those QuickTime event moments. Wines and cannons, which I think will get me just that part. So, okay.
All right. I better search.
Let's blow through this. Diversion, conviction, science. Okay.
Writing material. I haven't even had time to unpack my cases.
Monsieur Louis.
Nothing.
I just want to make sure that if there's anything neat, what's its not collectibles. Collectibles is not what I wanted. That's not the word I want here. Right, we have to do the lemon thing.
A priest's robe, crosses. Must be Piaggi's room. Oh, This a voyage. What a mother, and I don't know. Found it, mother. Let's see if I come on. Let's what if a
Fuck up.
look. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who golden elixir.
He doesn't say that one with quite the same sexual panache as when he finds Amber. I didn't realize you could take ash, but I'm gonna take some ash. Maybe it'll come in use later.
Ah, seek light.
Which also means that I should go out here and see if I can grab that lemon. I don't remember if he still had the... Every time he picks up a piece of amber, he's reminded of her.
Aha! Let's work on that and app. You must tip up. Well, tell him.
Okay, and then I remember we have to
I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests.
do that.
Might be better to take a different stairway. Might be better to take a different stairway.
Oh, has it changed for here too?
Door to the room of the soldier I saw in my vision.
Here's the other one. There are 2 rooms we can go through.
That's the door to Elizabeth's room.
That's right. Elizabeth, who we're not going to...
What happened in here?
Yeah, we know. She messed everything up because she hears voices. Whatever those voices actually end up being, we're not sure, but you know, it happens.
A novel of the initiation, June 11th. June 11th. 30 November. June 11th. August 24th. Looks like I found...
Okay, now we will run back and do Napoleon's room. Monsieur Bonaparte. Hello? Where is the fucking... It's the man's room. Alright, here we go.
Devil's Thorn. The Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect...
One immunity down. Politics. Don't try to touch him with politics, because you will lose. Can't do anything with that, because it's a skill I don't have.
It's a beautiful weapon. A lovely damask blade. It's marked with the initials of the manufacturer in Versailles. A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Dink? Two dinks? Yeah, there it is. Amber. Ugh, please don't make me laugh like that again. I can't do it twice in one night.
My dear Napoleon.
Okay, I think that's all we can do here. We discovered 2 of his immunities, and that's the important part.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet? I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault, too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Home.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
You didn't happen to lose this, did you?
Where did you find it?
In the small salon.
It's the only reminder I have of my beloved sister. I thought that swine stole it from me. You're her son. Sarah de Richet's son.
Yes, why?
Last
She's
night,
not wearing
I found out
shoes.
that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care? Really?
Yes.
She nursed?
Oh, her sadist. I remember.
Hold on.
You can ask. Look,
Wait. I need to know more about why. There must be.
what's the point of.
Here we go. No, wait. What's her things? Fuck. I lost her. There she is. To be discovered. Right. What are the inventory? There we go. Devil's Thorn. Right. Okay, well.
Right. I don't want this conversation. You suffered. Please excuse.
Well, I know you're little. You couldn't give a dick.
Don't say that. Not everyone. Some people care.
Mention her sister.
Yes.
I'm sure.
She's the. I would have. Since.
Thanks for.
You see.
Blah 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 blah.
He was.
It's.
We already know all this. This is nothing different. This is nothing new. Moving on, we did the thing. What is that? Trait unlocked determined. Let's wait to talk about my mother. Okay. What is the little icon up there? What does that mean? Ah, reveals vulnerabilities and immunities of your discussion partner. Oh, it's the Devil's Thorn thing, but there's a timer on it. All right.
Dear friends, Your Eminence, Johann, Christoph, Napoleon, and Jacques. Unfortunately, my friends,
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urge.
who does not know of us?
Okay, here we go.
Peru looks totally out of place here. He's counting the 10 sets of cutlery around each plate? The man is completely lost.
Thank you.
Etiquette is a vulnerability.
It is served every day at the king's table.
I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself.
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, anyway. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Back! Oh, barely.
A Prussian-Britannic coalition is not good for France. The last time we fought against them, our empire went up in smoke.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same grape varieties as you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mentioning that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
What do you think of Volner?
Many believe he is the real leader of Prussia. A charming man, but with an iron fist and a velvet glove. I also know he's famous for his love of the hunt, in all its forms.
Don't trouble yourself.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Well, what do you think, madam? What is this Bonaparte doing here?
The presence of a soldier is never a good sign. It can only mean there's going to be further war. To answer your question, I only know that his family were in favor of the revolution, and that it almost cost them their lives.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Monsieur,
What's the chest here?
it would seem we have common.
Alright, we're gonna do this moment.
You must. I have
Ba, 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 ba.
Of course. And for the agreement.
That's etiquette, right? Shoot. Which one is that? Etiquette, yes.
I've only just taken over the
All right. I have. We don't know. Given the.
Don't do that.
I think what France is lacking today is a truly strong leader ready to govern her. Someone who, a man, the right.
Your Miss Lord, I would like.
Mr. Bonaparte.
My friends, I would like those.
Ba, 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 ba. Nothing interesting or new. Fuck.
Washington is a very gifted speaker.
Trait unlocked legitimate. What's that? Came out on top in the one-on-one with Napoleon Bonaparte. Okay.
Sworn enemies, and he'll convince them to be friends for life.
Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All together. Until then.
Okay, done that. I just wanted to do that scene again better. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it. Look at that. Fucking nailed it. I think that even gave me an extra level. Okay, 8 available points. Fuck yeah. Alright, let's talk about this. Let's do this. Boop, 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 boop. Easy. Boop, boop. actually. No. Fuck. Difficult, but hopefully that works. Talent unlocked experienced, which effort will increase by 1. Cool.
Alright. I've got to find the place.
Alright, 1 manuscript to equip. Fiction, manipulation, diversion, etiquette. Let's do diversion. Alright, there's not a whole lot to find in here if I recall. There's just a couple of little bits of things, like some, not collectibles, but consumables that I can run around and grab real quick. Don't bother with the paintings don't do anything.
Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
I thought there was more over here.
Well,
Talk to the
yes.
Cardinal.
And you are, but do not. I should.
To tell you the but if I said to,
Of course, you will see.
thank you on that. See you later.
See you later.
Portrait gallery. Okay, yeah, he actually gives an answer if you ask him the right question. Who knew?
The Devil's Thorn. To be used to the lock is surrounded by a triple circle. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Okay, and there is one
The Miller Brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
not picked up, right? Isn't there a book in here that I get? Yeah, there it is.
Pages out of an old encyclopedia.
Which gives me the encyclopedia, which is awesome and will be equipped during the next mission. Easily.
We're all
Do a quick run around here to find all the stuff that's lying on tables or benches or something.
François Premier.
Nope, not the...
Roland Fields is
This one's actually important.
by Velasquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alcubia. Amber crystals.
Amber crystals. Ugh. Okay. Get over here. Alright, we go into the puzzle room. I need to sneeze. Hopefully that actually did mute. For some reason, my Steam Deck does not want to tell me when things are actually muted and when they are not. I'm going to leave this one, actually, because it doesn't really have anything particularly useful in it.
And also, let's skip.
Okay? To rotate the statuette toward the person holding the shield. It did mute. Cool. It's supposed to, like, be very clear when someone is... Rotate the statuette toward the hero holding the shield. I also need to rotate you, actually, don't I? Yeah, it's supposed to be a different... It's supposed to light up when it's on and turn off when it's off, and it's not doing that right now. It's just always off or whatever. You know? Doesn't make a lot of sense.
Stop.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
Probably
Well,
would have. Well, now look.
oh, yeah. It's your...
Okay, now that we know how this kind of goes, we're not going to bother doing things like that. Don't think it matters. And in fact, none of these really matter at all. We're gonna get the...
Oh, looks like a pamphlet on different political regimes, written by Mortimer.
Oh, that's interesting, though. Is it one of these?
Self. Amber.
Amber.
How could you...
I thought I got to analyze the documents before. Oh, did I fuck that up?
Several peep and I want... How did Lord Mortimer get all this? It's just crazy.
Secret connections, money, or a well-kept family treasure passed on from generation to generation. Who knows?
That would mean some of Mortimer's ancestors lived before Jesus was born. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was...
She didn't have...
Or...
You'll just...
Okay, there is that box over there, so let's go take a look at that box before we wrap up the scene, because I didn't get to do that last time.
I found an amazing ring. There's an inscription engraved on it. The mythical ring of the Nibelung.
Louis, do you really believe it's the ring of the legend?
You should try it on. They say if you wear it on your finger, it makes you more agreeable.
How droll. In the legend, it's a cursed ring.
Come on, about face. Work it out, work it out. Oh, you can't get around her, can you? What happens if I just talk to her?
Carry on searching.
She'll just tell me to keep searching. Never mind. It is the Ring of Power, in fact. Quite literally.
What is that?
Cameo. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out. Tell me what.
No, we just...
Listen.
And
Da-da-da. Shoot, what's her thing is psychology, right, which is this one. That's a vulnerability, but this is something that costs me 0 to use.
When are you going to understand?
What do you...
What do you... If only... That's it?
Well, I'm... But I've nothing...
Nothing to...
Because you...
Just like ever...
Ha!
Pragmatic and tell her. I don't... It might...
I might have... And I'm... Do you understand?
I don't see us...
Oh, I know, but...
Is... Come on.
Where...
You're... Your sister.
What? When you did... I thought...
Oh.
Yes, Emily... What? We... What?
And
Nothing new. Okay, moving on. Back to where we were. Some slight changes to the choices we made. Nothing really remarkable yet.
What do you think of our first adventure?
I must admit, it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Now Emily comes bursting out of her room. Or, I'm sorry, Elizabeth comes bursting out of her room.
She's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do?
We're gonna join Emily because that scene with Elizabeth fucking weird.
Excuse me, Elizabeth, but some very urgent business has cropped up.
Business.
No, Louis, don't leave me alone. They've come back.
Good night, madam.
Cold.
Well, well, Louis, you took your sweet time. What did our poor Elizabeth want?
She's in bed, but she's fully dressed.
The real question would be this. What exactly are you doing, Emily, in my room?
I've enjoyed our discussions very much, and I had hoped that we could continue them.
Emily? Have I misunderstood something here? What are you doing in my room?
And for a while now, the question has been nagging at me.
And that explains why I now find you here, in my bed. Go ahead. Ask me the question that's been burning at your lips.
I know your mother was here to meet someone.
Oh, she's not wearing a skirt anymore. Gotcha.
Oh. So that's what's been hiding behind all this.
We are both members of the Order, Louis. Let's try to be honest with each other. I have followed with great interest your affair in Paris, in connection with Mr. von Borchardt. You managed to steal something from him, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. And what about you, my friend? What were you and your dear sister looking for here?
Well, our mission was to find out more about that particular book.
And why that one?
Let's just say that the Queen is desperately seeking a way of relieving the King from his difficulties with dementia.
Well, how about that?
This is quite fascinating.
Did they have that term back then?
What did Sarah expect to accomplish here?
If only I knew myself. My mother always takes a sly pleasure in telling me as little as possible.
Oh, poor little Louis. Your mother hides things from you. That's not very nice.
No, it's not nice at all. And you, what were you supposed to do once the book...
This is already revealing far more interesting information.
Sir Gregory has more than one card up his sleeve.
So you mean Home is playing both sides? I'd say the Queen is going to be disappointed.
What can we do? Sometimes things work out like that.
Disappointed was spelled
I
wrong.
love chatting. Come and join me instead.
Sure, I feel like this is a bad idea, but you know what? Let's do it. This is femme fatale moment. She stabs him with a needle. Or no, they just have sex. Okay. We're just getting a straight fade to black. Here I thought we were gonna get like some kind of bad end kind of a deal, but
I have to go, Louis. I don't want anyone finding me here in the morning.
okay.
Well, have a good night.
I know.
See you tomorrow, rested and ready.
Sure thing.
Not even gonna show her out, just gonna... Okay. I know, no weird, awkward music. New trait, what's this? Chose to spend the night with Emily Hillsborough. One more point in diversion. Okay. I think we now have the trait to one extra manuscript, and then there's a talent for that in here too. But I got one that... Oh, I managed to miss one manuscript somewhere. So I can't equip 3. I can only equip 2.
Lord Mortimer?
Monsieur de Richet, at last we meet.
Interesting. Huh. That ended in an interesting way. Could have found out more about the past of Elizabeth and my mother. Really? Really? You could have? Because I tried and got nowhere. I was to say, didn't even let me get fucking dressed, dude. Or available point. Give us vigilance so we can actually fucking use the skill. Not great, but it's something. I'll do the same with agility too. Erudition and logic are the only things left. Actually, you know what? No. I'm gonna... That gives us the jack of all trades trait, or skill, I think. Okay, now, where is my mother? Let's try something new.
Must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible. Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call...
Not sure what this sequence is supposed to be. Some kind of dream moment.
Apologize for being late. I was obliged to clear up some urgent business.
Is this actually happening? What? Definitely doing that. Fiction, logic, etiquette, politics. This logic might be the next one to focus on. The chapters did come out separately, yeah. Also, why did I not replenish all of my points? His office.
We meet Monsieur de Richet. Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. However, there may be some new developments.
I wonder what it says for Lord Mortimer now. Lord William Alexander Mortimer, Marquis of Westfordshire, Marquis? Peer of Great Britain, is an extremely rich English aristocrat as discreet as he is influential. But that's what I thought. He's not... no. No. What? What? No. Fucking... Hold on. Hold on. On Wikipedia, give me a second. Europe. Okay. I mean, at the very least, he is a very high-ranking noble, but he would be a Marquess, not a Marquis. Marquis is a French title. Marquess is the English title. So he's the Marquess of Westfordshire. Now that does put him one step below Duke and Duchess, so he is a rather powerful one compared to Baron, who apparently is, again, the one that throws me, because he should not be Sir Ian Holm Baron. etc., etc. He should just be Lord Ianholm, but whatever. Anyway, an investor of talent, Mortimer's success in business was masterful. He finished by withdrawing from the public arena and isolating himself more and more on his private island. Major patron of the arts, he finances a large number of artists in diverse fields and takes great pleasure in bringing together unexpected personalities. Does the same with the grace of the world, men of influence, and men of state at the time. Regularly organizes social gatherings on his private island off the coast of England. Okay.
I don't know if they are linked to your mother. We have found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room.
Okay, so Elizabeth Adams dies no matter what.
Stabbed several times.
Who could have done it?
That is precisely what I would like you to help us determine, Louis. Duchess Hillsborough informed us that she accompanied you at the beginning of the evening. You apparently bumped into Miss Adams, who wanted to speak to you.
Let us say Lady Hillsborough.
You turned her away, and she went away on her own.
That's correct.
Do you know what she wanted to see you about, by any chance?
She seemed upset about something. I thought she was under the influence of alcohol, but we didn't really speak.
Pity. The poor child was probably trying to find help.
I thought it could wait until tomorrow.
Apparently not.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference. But the case cannot remain unaddressed. I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe.
Who is whistling?
Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you. You have my backing. You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of course. How would you like me to proceed?
Maybe you could start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I know. Don't guilt trip us. The man who showed up only in Act 2.
So I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Okay. However, this gives me a chance to run around here real quick, so let's see if there's anything worth my time here.
The Nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Leviathan. Oh, that's what's making the noises. It's a fucking parrot. I don't tell the suspects that I'm coming so that they'll make sure to... Oh, hey, the Cardinal's up here. What's up?
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have happened?
That's exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Okay. That was remarkably not helpful, but...
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its final form? Charming.
It's Purgatorio, actually, not Purgatory, but that's okay.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
A-C-E-C, okay. R-B-A-E. Do that then. That doesn't work, okay. Right there. Oops. Nailed it, Zeus. Duh. Big statue in the front. Should have. Yep. Handwritten notes by Lord Mortimer. I keep seeing that, but I don't know where that is. Ah, that's what that is. Okay. Can I talk to the very not parrot?
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
There's nothing to speak of, but okay.
I'm listening, Louis.
I haven't even left the floor.
I'll be in touch as soon as I have any more information.
Okay. Also, can we talk about why there's a giant hole here? That's a bad idea. Architecturally, I feel like it's pointless. Okay. Start searching all the rooms, I guess? Like, all the rooms. Or not this one. Okay, not that one then. But let's actually start with her room. The moon door, yeah, right. This is actually the Eyrie? Oh, hey, what's up, dude?
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
Has anyone told you that Elizabeth was killed last night?
Yes. Rumors spread quickly.
Huh. He looks very put out.
It's horrible. How did it happen?
I can say nothing to you, sir. You'd better follow your host's instructions and Stay in your quarters.
I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
Okay. Not sure what that was about. I know this pan is supposed to be like, wow, this room is a mess. It's like, no, it was like this before. That's new, though. And as we know from the last time we played, that seems to be... Maybe it's not necessarily inevitable. I'm guessing how you play her little part. You either get drugged with a laudanum and you know...
My dear Elizabeth.
Fall asleep and are drugged and then she ends up dying. Or you tell her you won't and she kicks you out and then she ends up dying.
Finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
I have the key. Amber.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. Feet and hands are bound. A piece of cloth in the mouth prevents the tongue from being sectioned. It looks like preparation for an exorcism. Is Elizabeth really possessed?
Discovered immunity now?
The note suggests binding the feet and hands, then blocking the jaws using a piece of cloth to prevent the tongue from being sectioned. That looks like a method to control an epileptic fit. I wonder if Elizabeth is the one being treated for that illness.
Dead. Oh. Like, her body is right there. She's dead. Sir, I don't know how to tell you this, but she's dead.
Clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime.
Time of the crime. Crime time. Time for crime.
Facto, because she was still with me at the time.
Well, we can knock her off the list then.
Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck. A pentagram? What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, a pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what evil or demonic creature. With the point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil. Many esoteric rituals are based on this shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
It was here before, though. I know, the room was a mess, and you're saying that
Written in Elizabeth's handwriting.
this has to do with the time of the murder.
Languages. Not too easy to work out. It looks like a mixture of medieval Latin and Anglo-Norman. It is difficult to make sense of this jerky writing. I can make out some passages, though. He's coming. The demon is upon me. He's coming back to kill me. There she is. Death has come to finish me off. I've just run into her son. That was her last entry. What tortured writing.
And it's about your mom.
June 11th.
And these are the letters. We've already looked at these. Nothing new there. Okay. Pistol. Interesting.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
You should take it.
A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France.
Sting. That's a couple of people.
There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean.
That sounds like Napoleon.
There's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently.
Interesting. I mean, to the liberators of France, that means that there's only 2 people that actually support the French Revolution in this party.
Right.
And
Have to find its owner.
very well maintained doesn't implicate Jacques Peru because, I mean, he's a bit of a firebrand sort of person.
Fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
Interesting.
It's a travel dress. The silk has been lightly waxed to protect it from bad weather. And I know the very woman who came up with the idea, given all the traveling she does. My mother. God help us. Why did she come here in the first place? The material appears to have undergone abnormal wear and tear. She must have been scouring the countryside, and that doesn't look good.
Oh, jeez, Mom. Oh, jeez. Oh, no.
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved. Blood spatter indicates that the murder must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower someone like that.
Strength that a soldier might have?
Knocked over bottle of wine.
No, what? What?
What plonk is that? Hey, it's a Bordeaux. That's a Chateau de Briand. It's a great wine. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Well, as we know from the last time, it's got laudanum in it.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Well, this is definitely not implicating Jacques Peru.
Poor girl bled to death.
Oh, that's awesome, though. Are you doing like a modern campaign, or?
Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe.
And now I'm getting confusing signals. Big feet, though. Okay, awesome though. I was just wondering if it meant like you were doing like a, you know, more modern era or different era than like medieval fantasy kind of look thing. That works though. Let's start with the head, work our way down.
Bruising on the skull? The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations. What a strange smell. Laudanum. Certain courtiers use it to get drunk. If taken in large quantities, it can provoke fits of madness. She bled from the nose. There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There are signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. I count no fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
The blood is usually a good sign that that's, yeah.
These tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by.
That's fucking gross.
What kind of tattoo is on the rest of her body? It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth.
Not sure how that works.
The wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate.
Right.
Marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control.
That's an interesting take.
Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but they're mostly from old cuts. She had the Sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age, unless her mother was a tutor. Ancient Greek. Let's see what it means. These are sacred chants intended to protect
one
the
point.
But from whom? Or from what? Scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life.
Did the rest of it, yeah? Hands.
Blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. This pinnacle's a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle. No marks or bruising around the wrists. It doesn't look like she was tied up or held by force.
Legs are last.
No trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Can't do that. I mean, this wasn't already one giant trigger warning.
Let's see. No trace of sexual assault or rape.
Oh, Don't need to do anything there. What is left that I haven't touched on? I think there is anything else. I think that's it.
Has Sir finished with this room?
Do you know who could have made such a mess of this room?
Miss Adams, sir. We were given orders to leave the room as it was, so as not to rush her.
Did she have a fight with someone to get the room into this state?
Not that I know of, sir. Miss Adams would sometimes throw a tantrum, during which she would destroy anything that came to hand. Lord Mortimer told us not to enter the room.
Thanks for that information.
You are welcome, sir. Has Sir finished with this room?
Yeah.
I know enough now. Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Okay, well, I guess we can come back if we need to. I don't know why that was a thing. So I guess we'll just slowly work our way down the hallway, I guess. Go to the next room, and who's this? Monsieur George Washington.
Map of Vermont.
Huh. Interesting. Weird that that's here. Especially considering that Vermont doesn't exist in this time, I don't think. Oh, no. Okay, I will take it back. Admitted to the Union in 1791. So it's only 2 years old at this time. I will take that back. I was gonna say, because Vermont was part of New York for much of the early part of the country, so...
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I would do nothing to jeopardize what we have built together. I look forward to seeing you soon. Your friend, William.
It was William.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals. The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
Sure to get myself some good night's sleep.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
So that just replenished exactly what I used it for. Never mind.
George Washington.
Egotistical.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Just need some fucking energy back here. This game is sapping me of all my skills here. It's very frustrating.
Greetings, Lee.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All of the rooms are apparently very much set up to, you know, to reflect the person who's staying in them.
I'm talking to all the guests to find out who has an alibi and, well, who doesn't, Mr. President. Can you tell me what...
Which is why it's interesting that
last night so that I can...
Louis's room here is lots of torture.
Reading.
All night?
Exactly. Emily stopped by in the middle of the night. You can ask her. She wanted to talk about some business we have in common.
Anything whatsoever to do with Elizabeth?
Not at all, Louis. A business matter.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Are you all right, Mr. President? Are you feeling all right?
Oh, don't worry. It's this rotten toothache. What do you expect? I'm no spring chicken now.
Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue. Greetings, Louis.
Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened. And I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry. Countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks.
Okay, well, that's...
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Why can't I go into the Cardinal's room? He said I could go into all of the rooms, and yet... can't even go into my own room. Ugh. I'm shortly behind you. I wanted to do one more room, and then I'm gonna call it. Can't do Manuel Godoy. Okay. I guess he's not here yet. Let's do the Duchess then. Yeah, you can't make a murderer out of George Washington, I suppose.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess.
It's been taken off the wall, though. Why is that?
Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice.
She's got a soft spot for an orphanage of some sort. Amber.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are, hands and feet tied, and little room to maneuver. Keep me abreast of events. Our mission is becoming more complicated. Yours, E. P.S. The French chapter of the Order doesn't appear to know anything about the arrival of our friend Sarah. I therefore cannot comment on it. However, my guess is that she has come here for personal reasons.
Interesting.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds, painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find them a husband.
Did it work?
Neat. It's disgusting.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor.
I'm sure it would be even more artful if you could, you know...
Une partie of it.
I'm sure it would be very lovely to hear about the artistry of the French language if you actually spoke it.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition to raise taxes with the King? I will personally see to it that our nation will recover from this impasse. But King George's mental situation is slowing down our decision-taking. Thank you in advance for all your help. William Pitt, Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain. Two coils circle the lock.
Ugh.
Queen Charlotte. All the royal family of England is there from what I can tell. A letter from William Pitt the Elder addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister.
The other one.
The letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath. If you have any request of me, you only need ask. With regards to my son William, I shall never thank you enough for looking after him. You know the latter's preferences, and you will understand he needs you desperately. For that, and as agreed with Queen Charlotte, our friend Duke Hillsborough will carry out his task and meet with you within 6 months. From then on, you'll be free from want. Yours sincerely, William Pitt, Count of Chatham. A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
Hey, he says things just so... unsettling.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
Death came quickly. You can be assured of that.
If such a senseless act can happen here, then none of us is truly safe anywhere. Lord Mortimer must be mortified that one of his guests could have committed such an act, don't you think?
He is indeed very upset about it. It's only natural after such a violent murder.
Violent? What do you mean?
Elizabeth was stabbed 9 times.
Oh my God, Louis. How awful.
I just told her that it was quick.
Had a serious grudge against her to set upon her like that. It must have been a crime of passion. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth.
not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Since your arrival, did you notice anything strange about Elizabeth?
Everything that happened around that poor child was strange. You saw that for yourself.
I know. You're right. I'm looking for leads to try to reduce the number of suspects.
Well, I would say that in addition to ourselves, you could also cross off President Washington. I went to see him during the night. I had some business with him, and I can confirm that he didn't leave his room all night.
That gives Washington an alibi. Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. Tell me, Emily, what's the nature of your relationship with Washington?
Oh, come off it, Louis. You're not going to go into a jealous rage, are you?
No, I can assure you of that. That has nothing to do with it.
It doesn't really matter. Look, Louis, the President and myself are working on a number of commercial contracts. Nothing overly exciting.
You're lying, Emily. These agreements come into being. They'll break Franco-American alliances for the greatest benefit of England. In order to know. We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger. Quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since a blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was of...
It is kind of hard to tell, yeah.
Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize...
Wish they had put some after effect on it of some kind.
Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject. I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Go downstairs. Oh. Had hoped. So I know there's a little box that opened with a bunch of stuff in it. Doohickeys, doodads. I already kind of searched his room, but can't hurt to talk to him at least. Hi. I'm gonna whiz past you here.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
No, alright.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear. and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him. My dear Napoleon,
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
as any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you.
Okay, so he...
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
It's not his pistol then.
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
He's lying. He just named a bunch of people who were not with him.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Thank you. What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I was not to insist. I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
Excuse me for insisting, but if you saw him or her, I'm sure you would have more information than that. It's just that you don't think it can be of help to me.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Was it a woman, for instance? Bearing in mind that all the women here wear whalebone dresses, which is rather noticeable.
A man, I should say. I don't recall seeing the silhouette of a dress.
You see, you saw many things, in fact.
Hang on. Laissez-moi réfléchir. Let me think a minute.
A wig? His height? The sound of his footsteps, maybe.
Ah, his height. Oui, somewhat imposing. A tall man and straight. As for the rest, I don't know, Monsieur.
He's straight instead of, you know.
That's already quite a lot. Thank you for everything. I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Okay, so he says he's not lying then.
we finish, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Out of skill point things, or ability points, or whatever they're called.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
That's another very French man.
Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
It's never too late, sir. If you have something to say, now is the time.
You don't understand. Everything's already written. It's over.
Why is he behaving like the perfect culprit? What is it that's already written? I'm not sure I follow you.
No, you don't.
Here it is.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Ugh, why do I not have the key for any of these fucking things?
The Massacre of the Innocents by Rubens. A bit gloomy. Guess my room is not that bad. Nice decor for a revolutionary tribunal judge's room. Another painting on the Massacre of the Innocents? The Massacre of the Innocents, but by Van Harlem. I think that Mortimer likes to play mind games with his guests.
You must be protected my future's lost ability. You can still be saved no matter how much bitterness you hold against me. You must know that I made a pact with the devil who I thought I could master. I thought I knew the monsters, but what I did for France is nothing compared to what they are capable of doing. Now I can't see any way out. The jaws are closing upon me. I love you now and forever. I love you always and never. Near and far, closer together. Everything. Ugh. I have 1 freaking ability point left. Why aren't there any more things that are just hanging out around? So many in the last level, like... It's killing me here.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it. This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
So let me just take it. Finally, something, but not what I needed. 4 circle-shaped key.
Dear friend, please come and join us. We must meet about the ongoing operations in Paris. A boat will be waiting for you in Calais and will take you to Dover in England. From there, a carriage will take you to the port of Tintagel, where a frigate will be waiting for you and other guests, so you can meet up with me on my island as quickly as possible. I await your arrival. Lord William Mortimer.
I just got the 4 circles key. Which one is that? Is that the one that's out here? Yes.
4 circles. Dear Monsieur Peru, I'm writing to thank you for the funds you sent. These funds will be crucial for the renovation of the western wing of the orphanage. The children you sent are doing marvelously well, and little Pierre will soon be walking. Some of them still sometimes suffer nightmares about their parents on the scaffold, but I expect they will cease in due course. Should you decide to send us more, please note that another 20 beds will soon be ready. The children and myself will never thank you enough. Long live the Republic. Long live France. Sister Marie-Hélène.
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Dear Monsieur...
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
little coin right here. Boop.
One of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran. Great. Honey.
Not much, but it's something.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
Did you kill Elizabeth Adams right away?
I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting.
Okay.
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations, you've wrapped up the investigation.
They're gonna make me redo this every single time.
Finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. Two days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, Deriche?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Damn it.
Go on. Keep going.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
Wait, that's that.
Let's get right to it. Are you Elizabeth Adams' murderer?
That is for you to prove, if I'm not mistaken, boy. You weren't expecting me to do legwork for you, were you? Lazy man.
Goodbye, sir. We shall meet.
Okay.
Probably.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go call it here because I gotta go to bed. It's already half an hour past when I wanted to be up. Didn't want to leave earlier. Okay, so that's our night stream. This has been interesting. I'm reaching a point where I'm a little frustrated with the gameplay, just because I'm running into not having enough ability points to do most of the things, to be honest, let alone any of them, you know. And I don't know why. I thought it was supposed to reset after every mission or whatever, after every chapter, and we started a whole new chapter. And yet it didn't change anything, so I'm not sure what that's about. Anyway, so that's our stream for the night. Thank you all for coming again. We'll pick this up again, I guess, on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, if you'd like to, I want to thank my subscribers. Thank you so much for all that you do to support the channel and help me out. If you'd like to subscribe, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It certainly would help out a lot. I also want to thank my followers. Thank you for the help that you give as well, for even just following me. If you'd like to be notified about streams when they happen, go ahead and hit that follow button. It does still help the channel a lot. If you'd like to be notified before the stream happens ahead of time, you can follow me at BOSTrophyWife on Twitter or on Instagram, where you'll usually get a notification day of, a couple hours before. You can also follow me on my Discord. That is where the most up-to-date announcements happen. Link is right there in the chat. Feel free to click that and you'll be given an invite. That way you can find out when there's something that's delay, or if I'm just not feeling well, if I need to cancel what I've already announced, anything like that. That's what happens there. But we also have a nice little discussion. We talk about a bunch of different things. This game was actually a choice that was made by the viewership, everyone on Discord. So if you want to have a say in what we play next and what we play on the stream, that's the best place to do it. My entire stream archive is not only available, the last 2 weeks is available here on Twitch as VODs, but you can also follow me, BOSTrophyWife, on YouTube. That has my entire archive going back to the beginning of my streaming, so 3 whole years at this point, I think. So yeah, if you'd like to follow me over there, that would be super appreciated. This video will probably be up on Thursday, probably around noon, so it won't be up for a little while. Just keep that in mind. And then finally, I want to say that if you are a fan of the stream and you'd like to support me financially and you can't subscribe at this time, or if you're already a subscriber and you'd like to support me financially a little further, I do have a tip jar. You can support me on Ko-fi. The link is right there in the chat. Anytime that you feel like you want to throw me a couple bucks, just that would be awesome. So thank you so much for all of your help, and thank you all for joining me. Very much looking forward to continuing the rest of this. We're moving a lot slower through it than I thought. I thought this was going to be a much shorter game than it is, so I'm kind of enjoying that, not gonna lie. So we'll see what happens, we'll see what goes on. It's turned into a murder mystery at this point, you know, so very big weird stuff. Very interested to see what happens next, and guess I'll see you on Thursday to see what does happen next. Have a good night, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.